Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and we're going to check out a few knives I have here. Now, starting it off really quickly, the James brand Abbey. It's like 60 bucks, comes with this little leather slip. I got it for Kara. The little scales that are on it are some sort of acrylic, and it comes in a lot of different colors. Like I said, it's like 60 bucks. So, next, the Keyloom Knives Ari. So this recently came in. He did send it to me because I did review the prototype. This is the final version. I appreciate him letting me keep one of these. It is S90V titanium, and it is a large knife, which is what's kind of cool about it, because it's, you know, if you like large knives, this might be right up your alley. It comes in a couple different configurations, and I believe they are available right now. If they are, I will link it down in the description. I'm not sure if there's any more available, but I think there is. It has the front flipper, and then it has the hole deployment. That both work really good. You can thumb flick it too. Ergos are very comfortable. It has a titanium milled pocket clip, no back spacer, but it does have some standoffs and some weight relieving. Good access to the lock bar. My one real complaint would be just the sharp intro and plunge grind. You know, I personally would have made it a little bit different, but it's not that big of a deal. Internal stop pins and nice strong lockup, nice thick frame lock. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Very, very smooth, too. Also, another thing I really like about this one is the cutout for the lock bars on the inside, if you can see. So this clip works great in and out of the pocket, especially for such a large knife. But S90V, great steel, holds a crazy edge. Like, it holds an edge forever, and especially on it with a medium grit finish. Let's get to the next one. The next one is the F8 by Fox Knives. The Fox Knives F8, I think. Yeah, the F8. It is a Vox design. Now, what's supposed to be special about this is the steel. It's M398 steel, which is amazing. However, they ran it soft. Of course, it's Fox. It's an Italian company, so the Italian companies, for some reason, they like running their super steel soft, but it is made in Italy, Maniago, Italy, and the M398 is just, it's on the softer side, so you don't expect to get everything out of this M398. Maybe I'll do a test on it, but once I found out the HRC, it was like kind of like, you know, I know it's not going to do as good as it could. Not saying it's horrible, not saying it's bad, not saying you wouldn't enjoy it, and if you buy one, or if you have one, that you're not going to love it. It'll still take a sharp edge, it'll still hold an edge for a good amount of time, just not as much as it could if it was HRC'd a little higher. Anyways, very ergonomic, very comfortable in hand. I love this blade shape. It somewhat reminds me of a shilling cutter. It's not a shilling cutter, but it does remind me of a shilling cutter. The blade shape is very similar, so basically the tip is pointing at everything you're going to cut. When you go to slice, it traps materials kind of like a recurve. When you turn it around and cut straps this way, it's going to trap the rope so it doesn't slip up and around the blade. If you ever try to cut a thick plastic strap and it slips out, this won't do that. Good access to the lock bar. They did offer some traction on the steel liner lock. So it is titanium scales with this beautiful micro milling with a steel liner lock that's screwed in to the inside. And I think there's one on both sides. Titanium backspacer, deep carry wire clip that is reversible. And yeah, it's just a really cool knife. I do like the knife quite a bit. I just hate the M398 happens to be soft. But let's get to the next one. The Devo Mesh. Now, this is a Blue Creek Knives exclusive, and I think they go for about $135. I'm not sure if there's any available or not, but awesome, awesome knife. I think Devo does a killer job, and if you're not subscribed to Lefty EDC, definitely subscribe to his channel. He is one of the designers of this, and it is basically a sheep's foot blade with, I believe this is a shallow hollow, and it has really, really ergonomic scales. So it's titanium scales with a steel liner lock, and that's how they helped keep down the price. 14C28N, love the steel, and the ergonomics. Oh man, this thing is so comfortable. Reverse grip, pinch grip, forward grip, it doesn't matter. However you want to use this knife, it is going to be absolutely comfortable. Because it's neutral, right? It's neutral. So no matter your hand size, no matter your grip, it's just gonna work. Good access to the lock bar, very, very, very smooth. And the hole deployment is perfectly placed. And yeah, it snaps out there really, really good. You can even do the thumb flick, which works great. Deep carry wire clip that is reversible. Very cool. And yeah, and this is, you know, kind of a blank canvas. Like if you wanted to do some modding on a knife, you know, annoing and stuff like that, it's relatively affordable and it's good quality. So yeah, Blue Creek Knives, check them out for that. Next is, this is the MAXACE Rock, and I will have it linked down in the description. These are pretty affordable for what you're getting. M390 steel, titanium scales, or titanium covers, because it is steel liner lock, but, you know, it's a robust liner lock. Nice gripping on the liner. Not the best access, but I'm not mad at it because it grips you back kind of, so it just happens to work. But yeah, I always like having a little bit cut back more, but it's comfortable. It's not uncomfortable. Then the flipping action is amazing. Just look at the way the flipper tab is designed. You have so much leverage. You can see how much higher this leverage point is than the center of the pivot. Because remember, the center of the pivot is where the blade is spinning. So this has a ton of leverage. It kicks out. And it's basically like you can do a light switch, but it likes a push button, just the way how the flipper tab is and how comfortable it is. Man, that thing kicks. Now, this is a Persian blade shape or a trailing point. Beautiful sharpening tool and plunge grind. And then the blade geometry is pretty decent. It's somewhat of a self-defense knife. You could use it as a hunting knife as well for skinning and things like that. But, you know, it's got that upward swept tip. So, you know, the tip's going to aim at whatever you go at. It's not going to be the best for utility cuts, but you can also use it as a you know, an EDC knife. Ergonomically, very, very comfortable. The drop on it when you disengage it, very smooth. My one little issue is the detent is a little bit late, but I can still easily get past it. You also have the thumb studs deployments. And the stop pin is an internal stop pin, which I do like a lot. I love having an internal stop pin. It helps bring some strength in the pivot from side to side play. The clip is titanium, but it's not deep carry, but I'm actually kind of happy about that because it is very ergonomic and you don't feel it in your hand. If this was a deep carry clip, it would be annoying. So I'm happy with it. Now, there are different examples of this. So this is just one example, but they have the micarta one, which I think looks amazing. And yeah, really good value here. So next, the MIGURON KARAKI. Now, here's the cool thing about this. There's the new one. The new blade has a plain edge. It's not dual ground like this. So S90V with a plain grind. I'm hoping to get one on the channel because this is probably my favorite front flipper ever. It's so good. And listen, there's a lot of front flippers I love. I love my Atlantic Whippersnapper, but this thing is it's hard to beat. It's so easy to flick. I don't think your grandma can front flip this. It's just so easy. The detent is perfectly well tuned. The jimping on the front flipper is the exact jimping you want. The gripping and micro milling on the handle is nice, you know, in your hand. It offers some traction so you can get your finger up there. And the detent is not strong, so it makes it to where you can easily snap it out. You can even do the reach over really easily. Very comfortable in the hand with this super neutral grips like we were talking about with the Devo Mesh. Very, very ergonomic. Good access to the lock bar. Complete guillotine. And that's another reason why the front flipper works so good is because there's no resistance. It's a straight guillotine. Look at this. So, and with this S90V blade, I love it. Now, I prefer a plain grind where there's no dual grind, but I've been enjoying this one. This one's done great for me, and it cuts really well. My one big complaint would be the sharpening tool and plunge grind. Not a big fan of that, but the knife is so cool, I don't even care. And it's a damn good looking knife too, right? Titanium mill pocket clip and backspacer. Love the micro milling. Yeah, very good. Oh yeah, and the clip is a little bit tight, but you can bend it up. So if you just take a little bit of tension off of it, it works a lot better. And then last, the Tucson TS301. Really quick, I've featured this on the channel too many times because it's a good trailing point or, you know, clip point buoy blade. They're not my favorite blade shape, but this knife is done so well. It slices so good. Beautiful sharpening tool and plunge grind. It is, I guess you call it a liner lock, but it's a frame lock with overlays. That's what it is. And they have good carbon fiber, good micarta, and the access to the lock bar is good. Stupid smooth. Thumb stud deployment is some of the best you can get because the thumb studs are nice and big, and you see how they poke up. They give you a great platform to kick off of, whether it's the reverse flick or the thumb flick. This is an addicting knife to flick. Ergonomically, it's also very, very comfortable. Now, it's not going to be the best blade shape for reverse grips, but, you know, if you trap it and you get it good enough, you know, as long as your edge is nice and sharp, you could probably do it. Slicing is going to be really good. Skinning and things like that is going to be really good. Not the best utility cutter, but, you know, for what it's designed for, it is... it's pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of these type of clips, but this one does not have a ton of tension, so it actually works just fine. Titanium geared backspacer, and the blade steel on this one is 14C, but I think the ones available right now are D2, but they're not that expensive for what you're getting. For the titanium, the carbon fiber, the micarta, ceramic caged bearings on a racetrack, in you know all the bells and whistles of a knife that you could ask for I think like $120 or something like that. Something like that. The one downside would be that it's D2 steel, but, you know, D2 holds a good edge. You just got to worry about the corrosion with it. But T8 hardware all the way around. Yeah, what a good knife. What a great knife. Anyways, there you guys go. Just a quick look at a bunch of knives. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.